now I hear an echo for some reason.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave this one on the computer. I'm gonna leave that one.
Okay. Well, that one is a lot
How's that?
clearer. Oh man, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, you nailed
Okay.
it.
All
Excellent.
right. Sorry, man. I don't
It's
know what's up
all
with the I don't
okay.
know what's up with the mic on that computer. I don't know.
Okay. Yep. All right. So
But
that's
you hear me
nice.
better. You hear me better now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Definitely. All right. So right before you hopped on Zoom, you were programming your veteran show that's going to
It was
air on November 11th.
yeah, it was my jazz show, my weeknight jazz show.
Okay.
See, I do what you do,
All
and
right.
my jazz show is Monday through Thursday nights and Saturday mornings and then Sunday afternoons, right? And I'm a veteran as well, so I always put together a veteran show if Veterans Day falls on the night of one of my programs.
Okay.
So, so I was just going through songs that were played during uh, the wars,
Mm-hmm.
jazz versions, of course,
Gotcha.
in the mood, and but it's a lot of Ellington.
Okay.
There were tons of songs, more standards. Every time we say goodbye, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I was doing before we started the Zoom meeting.
Okay. And give us your call letters. You're on the East Coast, correct?
East Coast, out of Virginia, southeastern Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Virginia Beach. We call it the Hampton Roads area. Virginia Beach, Norfolk,
Okay.
Portsmouth, Hampton, Newport News, Suffolk, that whole area.
Yeah.
We're on WHRV FM 89.5.
Okay. And that's military area, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's what actually brought me to Virginia because we have the
Okay.
largest naval base in the world here with our naval operating base here. And this was my first duty station down here. I was stationed aboard the USS America, which was
Mhm.
an aircraft carrier, CBA 66, back in the mid 70s. See, you all thought I
Wow.
was like 31 years old.
See? Exactly. Well, that's awesome, brother. And we appreciate your service, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now let's talk about this release, altered egos, brother. I love it, man. I love it. I love the different arrangements of some standards. And tell us about some of the players on that one and how it's doing on the charts.
Well, it's been out now for 11 weeks. How it's doing on the chart last week, it was top 10 for 6 weeks.
Hmm.
It peaked at number 5, but this is also the busiest time of the year
Okay.
for new releases.
Okay.
So between October, the end of September, October, beginning of November, the busiest time of the release. I mean, of the year for new releases. So to make it to top 5, that's
Hmm.
pretty extraordinary. The title of the record, Altered Egos, reflects the two different styles of jazz we're dealing with: the
Mm.
swinging head style, and then the more groove pocket oriented style.
Wow.
Alan Farnham is playing the piano, Terry Burrell is playing the bass,
Mm.
and I'm drums, of course. And I wasn't so much focused on composing this time around. Usually I write all the material,
Okay.
but I was more focused on my drumming for this one, put the drums more out front
Mm.
and doing some arranging. I arranged the Billy Page classic, The In Crowd, that Ramsey did, of course,
Mm.
as a trio, instrumental trio. Dobie Gray had a hit out of it, vocal a hit out of it. But a lot of the jazzers remember Ramsey Lewis and the trio,
Definitely. Yeah.
The In Crowd. But I put a 2021 arrangement on it,
Big time.
and maintaining the integrity of the piece. Though, I did an arrangement on Gershwin's Summertime, completely reharmonized it. And
Mm.
what harmonization means is basically, when composers write a song, you have your melody and then you have your harmony.
Okay.
Harmony chord progressions or chord changes, right?
Got
Two
it.
or more notes played at the same time. That's harmony. So
Okay.
I was what we call reharmonization, which means we keep the melody the same, but we use a different set of harmonic progressions or chord progressions that puts a different flavor, a different twist on the harmonic presentation of the song. And I put a kind of a different backbeat on it, a
Yeah.
modern backbeat on it to keep it
Definitely.
interesting. Very, very harmonically interesting. And then there's the drum solo section as well. So arranging, that was my focus for this record.
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna spin a little bit of that one. Give me a second. Yeah. The intro alone, I'm like, okay, what's coming? What's coming? And then you go, summertime. There it is. God, I couldn't do that if I tried. That's like, oh, I couldn't do that if I tried, bro. Yeah, Jay. I think that was the first one I played. And I bet I was probably the first person to play it, Jay, because I got the digital download. And you know what? I'm going to send you a check so you can send me an autograph copy too. Yeah, all right. So let me pause this and get back to you. Oh, my bad. My bad. I'll get to that one. But yeah, man, swinging, brother, swinging, grooving, solid. And I can hear you guys been together a while, huh?
A long time, man. I've been playing with Alan longer than any musician I've ever played with, over 30 years now.
Wow.
And Terry, my bass player, has been with me for 26 years now. So yeah, we are a real working jazz ensemble.
That's for real. Y'all have to fall in, fall out, and say, hey man, it ain't worth it. We back in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's an interesting dilemma with jazz, because there aren't many jazz groups, hardly any jazz groups.
Gotcha.
I mean, musicians that have worked together for a long period of time.
Yeah.
To develop that unique special chemistry, you know. And it's the same with soul music. Sadly, I grew up in the era of the soul bands.
Right.
Now it's about the individual, you know.
Right.
Rock music basically is the only genre I know that really still maintains a large group of groups or bands.
Yeah.
Soul music kind of disappeared, you know, with the bands I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
And jazz, you know, we used to have Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. We used to have, you know, so-and-so quintet. We used to have, you know, I don't know. I mean, when I think I really have to think hard.
Yeah.
Who's a hardcore, consistent jazz group?
Yeah.
Do you know of any off the top of your head?
Man, not off the top of my head. No.
I mean, but think about that for a moment. You know, that's sad in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it's become more about the individual. Jazz is like R&B in that regard.
Right.
So I wanted to focus on the group, you know, have a group presentation, you know, and we have that longevity. So when you hear us, I mean, there's so many different directions we can go in this group because we've been together so long.
Gotcha. Yeah. Speaking of which, I bet you guys can't wait till it's time to get back out and play live.
We lost a whole year's worth of work, you know. We played up to this point, I think 5 or 6 gigs in a year and a half. Now, there are a lot of gigs I wouldn't take.
Understood.
You know,
Understood.
Because I'm not going to play a small, cramped up club right now.
Right.
There has to be some protocols in place, and even though I'm fully vaccinated, you know, I still come to work, right, and I work around other people, so it's not just about me.
Got it. Yeah, you know, makes sense.
I work with some people that have some you know,
dilemmas.
Yeah.
That's like my wife. Yeah.
And COVID wouldn't play out well for them if they got infected. You know? So it's not just about me, man. I mean, and this is the way I wish everybody should look at it. You know, it's not just about you. If you don't get vaccinated and you get infected, then you really can potentially bring a lot of misery or death.
Yes.
Into somebody else's situation.
Understood.
People don't think that way, man.
Right.
It baffles me.
Yeah.
Baffles.
It's a selfish thing going on.
I was having this conversation, man, with some veteran friends of mine, you know, because when I was in boot camp, man, I was getting shots. It seemed like every other day we were getting a shot, you know, sometimes 2 shots at the same time.
Right.
And I didn't hear any soldiers then saying, you know, I'm not taking this mess. You know, this is back in the 70s, right?
Right.
And nor did they give us an out on taking the shots unless we had allergies. Like I'm allergic to penicillin, so I couldn't take the bicillin shot
Okay.
that they were offering back in the 70s. But
Mhm.
all the other ones I had to take. Now you have soldiers today saying, I mean, throwing away their military careers,
Yeah.
getting bad conduct discharges
Yeah.
for the simple reason of not taking this vaccine.
Right.
Just destroy your career and you have that bad conduct discharge on your record.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling to me,
Yeah.
man. All in the name of, well, you're not going to tell me what to do. Well,
Right.
the military tells you what to do every day.
I hear you,
It's
brother.
baffling to me.
Yeah. I
That's
hear
you
you
join the military and they tell you what to do.
too. Yeah.
You can't pick and choose and say, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I tell you what, we can't wait till you get back out, brother. And especially get here on the West Coast. I'm pretty sure you guys will be at the San Jose Jazz next year.
Well, I hope so, man.
Are
I
you
mean,
talking to anybody?
not since the pandemic started. We
Okay.
haven't. No, we played there. I played there once,
Okay.
one year, about 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Then they'll have you back, brother. They'll have you
It,
back.
it was Bruce or Barry? What's his name?
Bruce
Bruce.
Labadie. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
Um,
as much as I hear your music on stations like KCSM, and I keep you in my rotation, so I'm pretty. You'll be back. You
I
guys
hope so.
will be back. Yeah.
I love San Jose, man. I mean,
Yeah, I could
that's
tell because I see man when I would see you at Jazz Week, I'm like, this brother keep coming. Here, you, Valentine, and a few more. Y'all gotta love San Jose.
I love San Jose, man. That's the weather, the
Yes,
vibe. It's
yeah.
just it's a very special place out there. I love it.
Would I like Virginia?
You would, you would,
Okay.
because Virginia is interesting, man. Virginia is kind of like California in the
Mm,
sense that we have mountains and
mm,
we have beaches.
mm.
So if you're into the mountain scene, which I am, you
Yes.
know, I
Hmm.
can do that. And then if you're into the beach scene, you have one of
Love it.
the best beaches in the world. I mean, in the country, Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach. Okay.
And if you're patriotic, obviously it's a home state for a huge military presence.
Got it.
Um, but you have the culture, you know, that interesting mixture of diversity that the military brings into communities,
Hmm.
you know, and so you have that, and then Virginia's centrally located. We're only 3 hours south of DC, 3 hour drive south of DC.
Okay.
We're an hour flight to New York City.
Wow.
So, I grew up in Pittsburgh, right near
Okay.
Pittsburgh,
Hmm.
Pennsylvania. So it's an hour flight up there. And so Virginia has some interesting qualities about it, good qualities.
Okay. And
I'm not
and
talking politics. I'm not
I
talking
got. Hey,
politics, but
I hear you. I hear you. Now, do you reside in Virginia or Pittsburgh?
no, I reside in Virginia. I've lived in Virginia
Okay.
since my military days back in the 70s.
Okay.
I made Virginia when I got in when I got in the Navy. I just stayed, went to school here, and made Virginia my home.
Got it.
Pittsburgh area at that time, Western Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
in the suburbs around Pittsburgh where I grew up, heavy steel mills, hardcore blue collar.
Okay.
And the more high tech Pittsburgh became,
Hmm.
the more the surrounding areas suffered.
Uh,
And it's a sad thing, man. What you see all these communities surrounding Pittsburgh that
mhm.
are struggling big time. But Pittsburgh as a city is
Mhm.
thriving unbelievably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My wife is from Jersey,
Uh,
from a small town in Jersey, which is not far from Easton, Pennsylvania.
okay.
Got it.
I think that's where
George Foreman.
yeah, George Foreman. I knew it was one of
Yeah.
those boxers. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were going there.
I think Mulgrew Miller lived there, didn't he?
Okay. I'm not
I
sure.
think Mulgrew moved over there for some
Okay.
reason. I don't know. I can't
Did you play
remember.
with Mulgrew?
I did. I
Okay.
did. Mulgrew a few times.
Run us a list of some of the people you've played with, brother.
Oh man.
Come on. I
How
told
long is this interview?
you, however long you got.
um, well, here some speaking of pianists, here's some pianists I work with.
Okay.
Mulgrew Miller,
All right.
one of Mulgrew's best friends, the late great James Williams. I played with Fred Hirsch. I played with Kenny Barron.
Yep.
I played with oh man, John Hicks, the late
Okay.
great John Hicks.
Yep.
Um, I played with Joanne Brackeen.
Okay, Joanne. Okay, I know the name,
Joanne
but I'm gonna
Brackeen.
have to check some of that material.
Pianist Makoto Ozone. Played with
Okay.
Makoto Ozone. Saxophone players. I played with let's see, Scott Hamilton. I
All
played
right.
with Joe Henderson,
Yes.
the great Joe Henderson. I played with
Yeah.
uh, James Moody.
Oh man.
Played with man, yeah, Bill Evans, the saxophonist Bill Evans. I
Wow.
played with saxophonist Dick Oates. I played with saxophonist Bob Berg, the late great Bob Berg.
Okay.
The trumpeters Freddie Hubbard. I played with Freddie Hubbard.
Wow. Wow.
Uh, I played
And
with
a couple of Marsalises, right?
Branford Marsalis, and I played with the patriarch Ellis.
Gotcha.
With Marsalis. I never played with Winton, but I played with Branford and Ellis.
Okay.
Um, Singers, man. I see Denise Donatelli, Rosanna Vitro, Carol Sloan,
Mm,
John Hendricks.
okay.
So you know, and there's a million more I can't even think of at the
I
moment.
hear
Chico,
you.
Arthur Blythe.
Wow.
You know, yeah, I've been blessed, man, and
Yes.
who I've been on stage with, and
I just
you
had to
know,
throw that in because I follow you on Facebook, man. And you see, I'll click on you, say something to you. But yeah, man. And I go, God, this guy's verse, and he's in it, and he's been in it for a minute.
yep, I've been there for a minute, man, and when I think about it, it's pretty remarkable, man. When I think about all the people I've played with,
Yes.
and the experiences and the things that I've learned from each
Yes.
and every one of these
Man,
people.
and when I read some of those pieces that you put out there, man, that's you provide a wealth of information for me and inspiration.
Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate it, brother.
definitely, brother.
So, altered egos is basically I wanted to go back to fundamentals.
Okay.
I think one of the issues confronting jazz today is the music has become really heady,
Okay.
very over intellectualized.
Jay,
And I
hold
think,
Jay, hold that thought because I wanna say to the listeners, I'm speaking with Jae Sinnett. All right. Jae Sinnett, master musician. And if you want to find out more about Jae Sinnett, it's spelled Jae Sinnett. Jae Sinnett. All right. Then your website, give us your website, then hold that thought. We're gonna get back to altered egos.
jsenate.com.
Okay. All right. So let's go back. Go ahead, brother.
No, what I'm saying, the jazz is it's I'm like you, man. I hear a lot of this music every day, right? A lot
Mhm.
of this music. And one thing that is fastly disappearing out of the sound and the feel of jazz is the blues.
Okay. Okay.
Losing the emotional sensibilities of the blues, man. And the younger musicians are really stretching out, trying to find something hip to play,
Yeah.
and kind of sidestepping that blues thing. It's like this heady,
Got it.
heavy intellectual thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say, man, you know what? You don't have to try to prove you're so smart,
Yeah, it ain't that deep. You don't have to try to be that deep. Let it
because
be that deep, but you don't have to try to make it that deep.
and then it ends up sounding contrived, man. And it sounds like they're playing to their contemporaries.
Mm,
They're
got it.
playing for the adulation of the contemporaries. Yo, brother, you killing it, brother. You killing it, man.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
know what? And then they're the only ones listening to it.
Yeah. But
So
they're not
so
buying it.
because
They're
people aren't feeling it, man.
yeah.
It's like this heaviness thing, this intellectual thing, this flash thing, drummers bashing, drummers
Yes.
velocity, drummers and all that. And
Yes.
I'm like, but
Where's
nothing
the
feels
groove?
good.
Yeah. Where's the groove? Yeah.
Where's that swing beat, man? Where's that pocket?
Yes.
That's why
Yes.
I respect a drummer like Nate Smith, who does the modern thing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nate he's not over cluttering.
Hmm.
He leaves that space. He gives the listener a chance to hear
Wow.
what's happening, but that pocket or swing beat is there.
Yeah.
And so that's there are players out here that are doing it,
Yeah.
but the majority more and more
Yeah.
are
Just
getting away from
sparks
that
flying everywhere from
yeah,
everywhere, but ain't
this
no
petty
groove.
thing, man. And I just wanted to go back with this, and I've been guilty of it myself. Okay,
Okay. Hmm.
that myself, And I wanted to go back to fundamentals. And what I mean by fundamentals, I want to go back, like altered egos. I mentioned two different concepts of the way we're playing the music.
Mm-hmm.
When we swing, I use a smaller traditional drum set. Terry plays the acoustic bass, Alan acoustic piano. We
Okay.
do it. We hit that swing beat, that swing pocket, and we swing, man. We're just swinging some changes,
Yeah.
blues foundation there. Everything feels good.
Yeah.
Then when we go to the pocket stuff, the groove stuff, I switch drum kits.
Okay.
You know, that's more compatible with the conceptual direction of that sound.
Mm-hmm.
So hence the title Altered Egos, right? And I wanted to showcase the versatility of the group. So we played two different sides, but authentically.
Gotcha.
When you hear us swinging jazz, you wouldn't think, oh man, these guys can pocket.
Yeah.
No. But when you hear us pocket, you probably say, man, these guys probably can't swing.
Mm.
You know, because that pocket is so authentic,
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah.
And it's hard to do. Not many cats can do that, both sides of that street, so to speak,
Yeah.
authentically, you know. So it's about fundamentals, man. It's about swinging, it's about good time,
Yeah, man.
dynamics,
Yep.
space,
Yep.
musical solos,
Mm.
uh, melodic content, lyrical content, um, good oral quality in the recording, um, and just a feel good record because we're all grounded in the sensibility, the emotional sensibilities of the blues. Even
Mm.
though we're not playing a blues,
Mm-hmm.
well, in crowd is a blues, but I'm saying when we do things like summertime,
Mm-hmm.
the feel, the way that song makes you feel, even though we're not playing the blues,
Mm-hmm.
that's the blues, and that's what the blues should be.
Got
It's
it.
not the blues isn't about a 12 bar form or a
Yeah.
5 bar flatted note scale.
Mm.
It's about the emotional
Motion.
sensibilities you put into what you play.
I know that's right. I know that's right, brother. I just started playing Mystery. I'm still working my way down the record. I hit Mystery last Tuesday morning. Let me
Mr.
see.
Reed, yeah.
Mystery, yeah. Call it Mystery. Okay. Mystery. Let's
Well,
hear it.
John
Okay.
Reed,
Okay.
REE, John Reed was he was a pilot and
Hmm.
he flew a mission. His squadron flew a mission that brought the this declaration out to the USS Midway that ended the Second World War.
Wow. Wow.
And he was part of that squadron. And then they brought all the players to the ship. You
Hmm.
know, Japan, the United States, China, Russia. You know, all
Gotcha.
these entities. He flew that declaration out there for them to sign.
Wow.
So it was a profoundly important mission, right?
Wow.
And so that in essence ended the war. And his last name was REE,
Okay.
John Reed. So I
John
call it
Reed.
Mr. Reed.
Mystery. Let's hear a little bit of that, Jay. Let me hit the beginning. Yeah, man.
You know, but that's the in crowd there, though.
Oh, okay, okay. My bad, brother. My bad.
Yeah,
There
there
it
you
is.
go.
All
There it
right,
is.
man. Just the feel, man. The feel. And you were inspired by the pilot
That whole mission,
and the mission. Yeah.
because that was a significant mission. So I wanted something that's why parts of the song sound kind of mysterious,
Okay.
and then then it's a beautiful theme too. You know that they're doing, they're finding peace.
Yeah.
They're bringing entities together to make peace.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. So where can the listeners find Alter Egos?
Well, they can get hard autograph copies from me
Nice.
directly through PayPal, you
Okay.
know, with my email address, jjazz@yahoo.com, JAEJAZZ at yahoo.com. I can get an autograph copy to you.
Nice.
Um, or they can download, you can buy downloads at all the online retailers, iTunes,
Got it.
CD Baby. You can also get hard copies from CD Baby as well, or
Okay.
digital downloads at iTunes or Amazon or whatever.
Got it.
You know, so
Very nice. But yeah, I gotta get something to you so I can get a couple of autograph copies.
and can I say this to
Yes, sir.
man? I mean, if you don't mind me saying this, this is about the musicians are in a dilemma, with outlets like Spotify and Pandora, and we're grateful
Hmm.
that they play our music. But what's happening is they're the only ones making the money.
Mm, mm, mm.
They're profiting and making billions off of our music. And for me, for example, for me to make $100 on Spotify,
Hmm.
one of my songs would have to be played 20,000 times.
Wow. To make
And
$100.
to get $100, one of my songs would have to be played 20,000
20,000
times
times.
because they're literally paying you a penny or less per spin.
Wow.
And the thing about this, man, it's what it's also done is that it's muted the buying of
Mm,
the record.
yeah.
People say, "Well, I'll just go to Spotify and listen to a song."
Yeah.
iTunes played a role in this too because they made people think. Um, Hold on,
Hmm. Bless you.
sneeze. Thought I
Bless
had to
you.
sneeze.
It's all good.
The 30-second soundbite
Hmm.
destroyed the attention spans.
Mm,
Now people are making a determination of the quality of a record based on 30 seconds, a minute.
yeah.
And but people have become less curious about the music, man. I mean, I'm from a generation that when we bought the album,
Yeah.
we couldn't wait to hear the other songs.
Exactly.
Now single tracks outsell the actual records.
Yeah.
People don't show no interest in the rest of the record.
Record. Yeah.
And then or they'll turn on to Spotify and listen to the song a couple of times, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So nothing is little is staying with people now.
That's true. That's very true.
And there's a reason for that, man. There's several reasons for it.
Mm,
And I think part of the problem is the way the business is structured,
business
how it
model. Yeah.
presents the music. It works against, I mean, it actually favors short attention spans, and
Mm,
it's getting worse in that regard.
yeah.
So people have no patience.
Yeah.
And but in the process of this, man, it's there's so much incredible music people are missing out on
That's true. That's true.
because they've settled in listening to one or two songs from an
Yeah.
artist
Yeah.
and
Well,
forget the rest.
I hear you. Well, let me tell you, this altered ego from start to finish.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Start to
And
finish.
that's the way we artists record these records, man. There's a message, there's a story, there's something in every single song we play,
Yeah.
every song. And again, I'm from that generation that we knew that the song we heard on commercial radio, that wasn't
Mhm.
the best song
That
on the
wasn't the
record.
one. Yeah, exactly.
We couldn't wait to hear the rest of the record or
Sure could.
the
Yes.
flip side of the single.
Yes. I
And
totally agree.
and we couldn't wait to read the liner notes, man. The
Yes.
liner notes,
Every
I
word.
mean, every word. And it's not we're not there now.
Yeah.
We're in some strange place right now, man. I don't
Hey,
understand it.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. That's why I had to reach out to you, man. I know your shoes are much bigger than mine, and I know I would love to be doing what you doing, and but I gotta reach to this brother just to say, big ups on this product right here.
Well, there's something else that goes into this, man. I do a lot of things, as you mentioned at the
Mhm.
beginning,
Yeah, we're gonna
and
talk about cooking too.
yeah, and I always tell my students to have a plan B. If you
Mhm.
want to play music, right? If you want to get into this jazz game,
Yeah.
take it seriously first off. All right. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy, man. You got to put some incredible time into the learning and developing process. It's a lot of work. Actually, getting good at anything
Yeah.
requires some major commitment.
Yeah.
And the way it is today, there aren't as many gigs available. There's like 100 or 150 musicians on average per one gig.
Wow.
Fighting for that one gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the competition is extraordinary. So have a plan B set up. Don't get frustrated, but just understand that it's a process that takes a lot of time and a
Yeah.
lot of work and effort. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I just try to be real when I talk with students about this stuff, man. I'm not going to come out here and say, "Hell yeah, just be good, work hard, and it'll work for you." It may not work for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I
I
know
mean, you
some
have to
bad
believe it
cats.
will.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have to believe it will. But I know a lot of seriously talented musicians whose phones don't ring.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Well, let's talk about just Sunday night specials. What happens with you on Sundays?
My cooking show.
Yes, that's it. Tell us about it.
Well, I've always cooked. I've cooked for like 30 years,
Okay.
And at first it was out of necessity, being a broke college student, right?
Okay.
So just go out and buy a can of something, you're right, because I didn't have any money. And then over time, it became, well, cooking is fun,
Yes.
right? So I like doing this. And
Okay.
then it became art. Right.
Okay.
Well, cooking is an art. So I learned to be more creative
Ye-
in what I cook. Then it became like about a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay. Am I going to use Crisco or olive oil?
Gotcha.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so it became a healthy lifestyle, controlling more what I put in my own body.
Mm.
Um, so combining the artistic elements of cooking with
Yeah.
the healthy components and the visionary components of cooking,
Hmm.
that's how I ended up where I am now.
Okay.
And to me, it's one big creative circle.
Yes.
Cooking parallels music.
Yes.
And I always make these parallels that the salmon, for example, is
Okay.
the theme,
Okay.
the
Hmm.
melody.
Okay.
How I season the salmon is the harmony.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yes.
how I cook the salmon and how I cook it is the rhythm.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now
Yes.
you can mess up the harmony by putting spices that don't work.
Don't worry.
You can overcook the salmon and mess up the rhythm,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yeah,
So
brother.
when I
Preach.
do these when I do these in master classes, when I talk about this in master classes and clinics and stuff to
Uh,
non-musicians
yes.
that I'm trying to get into jazz, they can start to see these parallels.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who don't like jazz, but I don't know anyone
Yeah. They don't like
that
food.
that, that don't like food
I know that's right.
or like to eat, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So I use food to try to bring people into jazz.
Oh man, nice. Nice.
I always tell programmers, man, if you want to increase your membership donations, you want to get people more involved, figure out a way of how to include food into your presentation.
Very
Like one
nice.
of the things we offer here at WHRV, it's
Hmm.
cooking with Jay.
Cooking with Jay. Okay.
And these are like for high-end donors. They pledge a lot of money, and I go to their home and we have a nice dinner party and I cook for them.
Brother.
But my jazz show has made a ton of money over the years from these dinners.
Nice.
I'm telling you,
Gotcha.
you can't lose, man, if you put food on the menu,
Yes.
and incorporate that into your programming somehow.
Yeah. That's fantastic, Jay. Man, I'm gonna show up in Virginia and be like, who are you? Jay gonna be like, who are you and why are you here?
No, man, come on, anytime, brother. I'll throw something down for you.
Man, I've seen some of your, like I say, your Facebook posts, man. I see you with your family and some of your friends. I go, man, that is fantastic. Sundays, I haven't watched your cooking show yet. Sundays, man, I'm not as skilled as you are, but I play bass in church. And by the time I
Right.
get out of church, I'm wiped out, man. That nap after church, I'm gone.
Well, you can see the show anytime. It's
Okay.
still on the page. If you can't watch it at 6, it's called Cooking with Jay, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. Give us that info.
It's Cooking with Jay, and it airs on the WHO Public Media Facebook page.
Okay.
So it starts Sunday night at 6, but it stays on the page forever. Once we put it up there, all you have to do is scroll down, and you can see different episodes of Cooking with Jay.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. And then there are archive shows at the public WHO Public Media YouTube channel.
Okay. YouTube.
Or you
Okay.
can just go to YouTube and type in Cooking with Jay.
Cooking with Jay, and that's Jae. Everybody.
AE, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, I pretty much went all different sideways on my notes and everything, but you covered a lot, bro. And I usually end my interviews with asking, "Can you cook?" But man, that's a given. You pretty much put us right there. Is there anything else you wanna share with us, man, or share with the public?
Well, I'd just like to say to your listeners, man, if you know someone that isn't into jazz, and it's not necessarily because they don't like it, they may not have had the proper exposure to it. They
Mhm.
may not have, there were more kids aren't into jazz because when you think about it, there's no reason for them to like it
Okay.
because they don't hear it anywhere
Mm,
in their circles. Where do they hear it?
yeah.
They don't hear it on TV. They don't hear it, in their play circles. So it's up to the parents, the older folks, to
Mm,
try to do a better play a better role into spreading the message. If you like jazz, right?
if you
I'm
like
talking
it,
about the
yeah.
folks, your listeners. Obviously, if you're listening, you like jazz.
Yep. Mhm.
We need to expand our jazz base. We need to get more people into the fold. And the only way to do this is not by just playing the music.
Mhm.
That's obviously not working that well in the bigger picture.
Okay.
What we need is jazz education. We need people to make people believe, hey, this is really worth listening to.
Mm,
And somebody to just kind of explain a little bit how it works because jazz is mostly instrumental
mhm.
and more people relate to the spoken word. Okay, so how can we get more people to listen to it and understand instrumentally?
That there
There's a
is a
way to
language
do
there. Yeah.
it. It's a language, but it's like us listening to French or Russian or German or Chinese. We may not understand it, but we can appreciate the inflection of
Yeah.
the how it's spoken. Same with instrumentals.
Yeah.
The improvisation and the rhythm usually throw people off. I just ask people to be patient, start simple, and ask questions. Ask the informed, knowledgeable folks in jazz questions. But you have to have the curiosity factor there. So if you're into jazz, figure out a way to share it with people who don't listen to jazz. Try to get them to say or to see that, hey, this is something really worth listening to.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Excellent.
I try to do it all the time, man. All the time.
Excellent. Well, man, obviously you're good at it because you have the longevity. Your music's good, your product's good, your approach is good. Everything comes across in it, man. So
Well, I appreciate it, man.
you-
Thank you so
you're
much.
obviously good and great at what you do, and I appreciate it, man. And listeners, if you didn't pick up a nugget, I got them. I got the nuggets for you. If y'all didn't get it, I got it. And Jay, feel free to give us your website one more time and any other places where we can find out more about you.
Yeah,
And
it's jsinnett.com. I'm in the process of revamping my website,
mhm,
but there's a lot of info there on the website. All my music's available at all the online retailers, iTunes, cdbaby.com, so forth. Um, and I want to say this, buy music, folks, not just mine. Buy the music of the artist.
yeah,
There are a lot of artists out here struggling,
yeah,
and don't just depend on Spotify or Pandora, wherever you're listening to our music from, because keep in mind we are not really being paid
mm,
hardly anything for those plays. Those organizations are making billions off of our music.
yeah.
So buy our music, please. That's what I say. Please buy our music so
Excellent.
we can get paid.
Yeah.
The enjoyment we're bringing you by you listening to our music, we would love to be paid for it,
And you deserve to be.
and we deserve to be paid. Yes.
Amen. Jay. Peace, brother.
Peace. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. I'm very thankful you have me on your show, man. Blessings to you.
Thank you, brother. All right. I
All
appreciate
right,
you.
take care.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
take care,
you.
brother.
Okay. Bye-bye.